Hello. So we start with audience bonding time. How many agree here in this hall tonight that the Industrial Revolution was actually quite a good step for humanity? Put your hands up. 1, 2, 3. Oh, quite a few people, huh? Not that many hippies tonight here. That's fine. Well, whether you like it or not, it's for sure a makeover to the world. It changed the way we see productivity, it changed the way we see businesses, how we see politics, how we see social relations, pretty much everything. New rules for the whole game. Now, we realized also that growth is not infinite, and we realize it perhaps the hard way. There are consequences to industrialized drilling. No, drilling is oil drilling, industrial mining, and we have the meltdown of the Arctic, we have fires, all of these disasters that are not really that natural as we would like to think. And of course, there's been a response from government and from businesses. There have been laws, self-regulative laws and strategic CSR that paved the way for awesome greenwashing. And people, well, they didn't really like that either. But while they were busy solving the last century's issues, a new big data revolution appeared. And big data actually was a term coined as a problem. It was the problem of not being able to store a data set on the local storage of a computer. But, well, we're humans and we're quite good at turning liabilities into assets. So we solved the problem of storage, and more, we developed an awesome infrastructure for the internet, speeding the data travels from one place to the other of the world. And now this world turned into a kind of general world hunger for data, and the online world turned into a digital mining place. And the business model is particularly exploitative based on tracking and targeting of users. Now, as the internet became easier and easier to access, data exploitation entered our homes. It entered our fridges, our pockets, and places we should have left for perhaps for the imagination. Now we have a new ecosystem being built, and for the first time in human history, we have technological and financial feasibilities for governments and companies to track, record, store all the intimate information about online users. And what we should have learned, perhaps from the past, is that mining and data don't sit well together. I meant mining and exploitation, not data. But big data is our filter for our own reality, and we're realizing that this filter is getting a bit rusty. So as with the industrialization, there are consequences. I'm just going to go through a few. Algorithmic discrimination widens existing inequalities, as you probably already know. Algorithm says that black is more dangerous than white, despite the criminal record saying completely the opposite. Algorithms say that a male should have 6 times more chances to see the job ad of a prestigious job online. Now, what you see there is a disinformation issue that, I don't know if you're in this audience now and you haven't heard of this. I want to know where the cave that you've been hiding is, because I'm planning my holidays soon. But responsibility is a hot potato for sure, and the actors that have a key role in this whole mess are trying to convince us that privacy is really something important for them. And we hear statements such as, "We take your privacy seriously, we take your privacy very seriously." But not everyone really buys it. So for example, my old boss, Joe McNamee, who got a privacy award tonight, he didn't buy it, he put the finger on it. And what he also put was the comma in the sentence, gave it a pretty much more accurate meaning. We take your privacy seriously. But now the problem is that politicians actually buy it. And they buy the discourse, they buy that, this privacy washing discourse, they also buy that big data promise. But what's more worrying is that they also buy the services for their own political campaigns. They buy the tracking, targeting business model of the online platforms. Now we're right now in a cornerstone where the next move that we're making will determine our future. We are having our online content moderated, we're having our online communication moderated, regulated, and we are having our human rights digital moderated. What we're seeing, though, is a wrong approach to regulation. What we're seeing is that instead of taking responsibility for the role in the disinformation debate, for example, politicians are turning their head around it and they're pointing at, we need fact-checking, we need more monitoring of journalists. What we're seeing is also wrong tools proposed. Instead of addressing the tracking, targeting business model, we are having upload filters suggested as the ultimate solution for all the internet problem. Of course, pointing at more monitoring, more exploitation of users' data. It really looks like politicians, or some of them, are really living in this data exploitation psi-fantasy, ignoring completely the notorious consequences of big data. And we cannot allow people in this state of mind to vote for our future. We cannot allow big data hallucinogens to be tolerated while on citizens' duty. My name is Andrea, and I represent 39 organizations from across Europe who don't get high on that sort of psychedelics. If you want to drop on the digital rights pill, get in touch. Thank you.